It's an auspicious day, Michael. It's Friday the 13th. And what are you going to do with your Friday the 13th?
Well, I'm going to finish up the painting of the eaves, and then as tradition follows, I always watch Friday the 13th, the original.
But there's something even more auspicious we're working on right now. What is it?
Well, it's a mystery. First we got to open up this door, and then we've got to take out the scope first. Scope is one of the most important pieces of all.
So we're going to take the scope out and the rest of the assembly and put it into Michael's truck. Michael has volunteered not only his weightlifting capacity, but his fine 4x4 truck. All right, for us to get to the airport, first we have to cross Main Street. Right here you can see the fairgrounds for Grant County.
On Bridge Street.
On Bridge Street. And one of the things about the fairgrounds, they also use it for staging the firefighting teams. Apparently they've wrapped up all their firefighting for the time being, so they've headed out. We're now heading up, or I should say down Highway 395 south. And in about a half a mile there's going to be a turn. It's going to go through a neighborhood. I was astonished by that.
Actually, believe it or not, there's 3 different ways, actually.
Yeah, we discovered another way to get down the other day.
There's 4 different ways you can get to the airport.
You know what the beauty of it is? They all are paved roads and they all look like they get snow shoveled in the wintertime. Here we go now. We're going to turn. Here's the sign. It's pretty discreet. It shows a jet aircraft. I don't think there are many jet aircraft that actually take off and land from the airport. They're all basically props and choppers. So this is the little neighborhood you pass through.
Beautiful little neighborhood.
It is nice.
I actually have a friend who lived right over here to the left.
And this is the street that we looked at a house?
Yeah, we looked at a house right down the street here, a couple up. Didn't have a garage, however.
Yeah, we would have been right on the river. Across the street.
Yes, we would have had the river across the street. That would have been nice. Well, there down below is John Day. You can see it's nested into this valley between the Blue Mountain hills. Okay, now we continue to a higher altitude. We must be up at least 500 feet above John Day, which is an altitude of 3,100 feet itself. There it is, down there, our new hometown. As we continue to wend up, we didn't have to make any changes in direction at this point to get to the airport. So once you see that airport sign, you take a right, just continue straight, and you will find yourself at the top at a stop sign. Okay, here we go. Now we're coming up to where the road ends. It tees off. To the right swings around to what I think is called the Industrial Park, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
And to the left, we go off towards the John Day Airport.
So now, which way do we turn, left or right?
I think we should turn right to go to the Industrial Park. Left, no, I'm just kidding. Go left to the airport.
Industrial Park Road.
So this is the drive into it, appropriately entitled Airport Road.
John Day Air Base.
And it is called the John Day Air Base, which is astonishing to me because I would expect to see military type craft here. One of the major things they do up here is fight fires. It's also the local regional airport for, well, not quite regional, for private craft to fly in.
I'm going to pretend to be a handicapped dude.
You got that. You got that right. So here we are. The John Day Air Base is also physically located on the Malheur National Forest.
This is the first time I've actually been to this building.
How long have you lived in John Day?
I probably lived here about 18 years of my life.
Did they recently build it?
No, it's been here for
the
a
whole
long time. The whole time.
It's a wonderful building.
It is a very beautiful.
I love it. I love the broken architecture of it. Composite architecture. Here we have, of course, Grant County Regional Airport. So apparently the county paid for this building. And here we have a double door entrance. Something very useful when your building is located in a snow zone. There's no zone like a snow zone, like a snow zone that I know. Guess where we decided to set this thing up? I'm going to do a suite. Doing a suite. There's the restroom. There's the stairs to go up to the 3rd floor where the Forest Service is located. What do you guys think of setting the telescope up right here?
Plans were here originally.
They were. Haley had them shifted. There we go.
Looks like we're going to be placing it right here.
Yeah. We'll create a nice artistic angle to everything.
Yeah.
Here's the inside. Oh, what a beautiful fireplace. Did they do a good job when they built this? Don't know the year it was built or why it's called an air base yet. Manager's office. And she is out. Manager being Haley. And Michael is just telling us this is the first time he's ever been
He's
up
got
here.
a telescope. It's probably best. No.
He's lived here 18 years.
You could go out with Michael and hold the door and facilitate him in any way because the telescope is.
Believe it, Vanessa?
What?
I found the
Hey, Tyler's going to go out with you and hold the door for you. So you can get the scope out of the back of the club cap.
Oh, the door don't need help. Oh, I guess it does itself. Okay.
Well, if there's anything in the way, that's all. Just clear his path, that'd be great. Thank you.
What's TC been up to? Just working here, that's about it.
Hey, Tyler?
Yes, sir.
Can we flip one of these up?
Say again?
Can we flip one of these up? Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so now it's assembly time. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, hello, Tyler?
Yes.
Oh. Do you work here at the airport?
Yes, I do.
Oh. In what position are you?
Airport assistant.
An assistant?
Yes.
So you work with Haley?
Yes.
And he's a jack of all trades, and if he gets to be a master of one, it's going to be nothing yet. Nothing on the radar yet.
So are you a pilot?
No, I cannot pilot any planes or anything like that.
So you mean no free flights?
No. Well, at least I can't fly. I can go with people, but
They are tight and one level now.
You got the bubbles over here.
Can you notice this?
You got the bubbles. The bubbles are on the next piece. So when we get the mount in, we'll have the bubbles on it. Yep, there you go. Just force them as far out as possible.
Does that look
Give
pretty
it a
level?
structure.
you are tilting my direction.
So this one needs to come down.
Yes.
But I will tell you this, I wouldn't worry about it now because there are bubble levels for both axes
There, that's a little bit
on the mount. But that's a good start.
start.
Good start.
Rotate it.
Declination axis.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because that's
That shouldn't be that way because this is where the controller is. So maybe I got it wrong to begin with. Okay, maybe the controller goes to the front. So we're going to have to rotate this.
So let's have it like that. That'd be like a beautiful angle.
Sure, we can, and that'll keep the optical tube assembly from actually poking out where somebody might want to get their hands on it. So yeah, let's do that. So the scope has a capacity, actually the right ascension axis. So the scope will be able to rotate like this. But there's also a declination axis. So basically the scope works by having two different axes that move independently of one another so you can align to a star. The beauty of this kind of mount is the fact that it's very easy to locate something because basically all your motion with the telescope is orthogonal to stars either going north-south or east-west.
That's part.
Right now, Tyler, he's mounting up the counterweight axis. And the basic purpose of that is so you hang heavy weights on it so you precisely balance the weight of the telescope on the far end so that there is absolutely no shifting whatsoever. Any position you put that telescope in, it should just sit right there, steady and stable. And it requires a lot of precision manipulation of the weights. And actually with a telescope, even if you change an eyepiece, the weight of the telescope shifts. So you might have to make slight adjustments too.
Yeah, me too.
So you know what we're gonna have to do? I guess we are gonna point the scope this, the front end's gonna be so high. It's gonna be so high, yeah.
I believe.
This is the optical tube cradle.
So I'm
What it
pretty sure it
does-
goes this way, doesn't it?
I think it can go either way, it doesn't really matter. It just slides into this bracket. All you wanna make sure you do, make sure you do is you just line it up with that. Now, one of the things we'll do with this later on is we'll end up shifting the scope inside the bracket or shifting the bracket itself so that the telescope's front end weight and its back end weight is perfect. So it's like a teeter-totter, you know, so that the scope would be like a teeter-totter and the scope is absolutely balanced. Okay. Next thing we want to put on is a counterweight so that the scope won't accidentally dip. But you can, one of the things you can do right now, just to get the experience, Michael, is see these bubble levels? You can make slight adjustments to the tripod and center up those bubble levels on the two axes.
Oh, I forgot this thing had a level.
So the original airport.
The original John Day Airport was actually located in the center of John Day behind Les Schwab Tire Center, towards the center of town along the river.
That's crazy.
Which is 1 block from our house.
Did they have to go and reshape the topography of up here in order to put an airport in? Huge bulldozers pushing stuff around?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm
I
sure
bet
that they had
did
to.
too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the fields that we have now, they're just absolutely littered with rocks. So I'm sure they had to do a lot of work.
There's probably all kinds of detritus off of this.
Do you know what year it was down there by Les Schwab?
Oh, it was 50s, 60s. It was quite a while ago because this was put in. The original airport was put in during the 70s up here, and then it was recently redone in the early 2000s.
These popping around clamps so the scope will fit inside the cradle assembly. Let's move some of these boxes out of the way so that we don't trip it. Okay, now, no, hold on. Let's get your body straight. So you're going to want to put it down from this side. The objective is going to be here, right? You want to do it from, it's a little harder to get past this. So what I recommend we rotate this 180 degrees. Or you can just stand on this side.
You can just move the table.
Oh, he's got it. He's going to stand there. Oh, that's brilliant.
Move the patient to destination.
Perfect.
Okay, and I'm guessing this is up.
That's right. The focusers go straight down.
Now we're gonna have Jeff operating
The
the
cradle.
clamps.
Yeah. And then you can clamp them down. It would be devastating to drop this scope.
Can you grab this just a little bit so I can reposition my hand?
Okay. Got it. So because obviously a telescope of the refractor type has a lens, actually a two-lens combination in the front. Okay, so just snug them up because what we're going to do next is we're going to set the balance.
I'm gonna have you hold this telescope, make sure it's secure.
I got it.
So I can.
That should be good. It's not sliding around. So this is a 6-inch refractor telescope. It's called a semi-apochromatic refractor. And that means it does a pretty good job of combining all the colors of the spectrum after they refract through the objective lens. Pretty good job, not perfect. If it was perfect, it would be called an apochromatic refractor. But this is definitely better than a pure achromat refractor, which uses just a two-lens combination and kind of like roughs in the focus for different colors of light. Top.
So it's gotta come back to you. It has to come back.
Step back about
Make sure to secure this.
within about an inch, right there, where it says ED, put it right up against this.
Okay, you secure this, so that I'm
I
gonna
got
loosen
it.
these. That was-
They don't have to come off. Just loosen
Oh no, I just wanna loosen these,
That's right.
just so that the scope itself can actually be able to.
Slide, and it's, okay, good. Now tell me when the D and ED touches the clamp. It's moving.
A little bit right there.
Okay, now don't bother clamping it down because I was having to pull on it, which means we can go ahead and try it again.
Well, I wanna, in case something happens.
All right.
So expensive, I wanna make sure.
I appreciate that. Okay, now when you loosen up this clutch, now now the telescope is rotating still, which means the objective end. One of the reasons why we're having to push it so far back is we don't have any eyepieces on this.
That's true.
So it doesn't have what is called a diagonal, it doesn't have what is called an eyepiece on it, which means there's less weight on this end, meaning we have to shift it further back.
So we need to shift it more.
We do.
Okay.
Not too much.
Let's see what that does.
So what I usually do is rotate it a little bit and watch it stall. You know, I think the back end's a little heavier on this.
So-
No, not on this, but I think we got to slide the telescope forward a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say at this point, there's no danger if somebody accidentally removes the clutches. Now, we're gonna have clutches on here,
Right.
right? And the clutches are gonna keep it from moving. But if somebody knows enough to fiddle with the clutches and they allow it to drop, we don't want to go and crunch, right?
No, that would be bad.
So if any bias we want in this whatsoever, we want it biased towards this going like this.
You know what would be a really cool thing?
What's
Is
that?
if they have a sign that says, please do not touch.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to bias the weights here. Loosen that up. We're going to bias the weights a little bit so the tendency, go ahead, now tighten it. So the tendency is for it to go this way rather than this way. But if we're really observing with it, we want it to be, give it a push this way, it travels the same
Look at
way.
that, it locks into place too.
You know, because,
So you're happy with the way it looks?
okay, so let's not much. Go ahead and do a little walk around.
Do you want me to take off the X?
Yeah, I think we'll take it off the X, because I think this tip here will be enough to keep some of it.
Oh, man.
We're going to tighten the clutches. Remember, there's a clutch here. Right? We're going to clutch it down, but I'm going to wait till we figure out what angle we want that. And there's a clutch here. And once we tighten these clutches, this thing is not going to move unless somebody loosens the clutches first. Let's figure out a nice attractive angle. So we got rid of the X.
I think the level looks amazing.
Okay.
Look, why don't you come back here and take a look and tell me what you think.
And just looking towards the pole side.
Just looking at, what do you think?
Pretty nice. Let's try a little more artistic approach. Though.
Nice showpiece.
How about this?
Let's say if we were to do something like that.
How about like something like this?
Yeah, a little more angles involved.
Yeah. That is wonderful.
I think it looks pretty good. Now, the other thing I will do is, I don't think, this is probably overkill here too.
Yeah.
Okay? What we just wanted was some of that tape around
that.
just some of the tape around the cap.
Ooh, you should have brought up a cloth so we could.
No, but we can use the, just use the line.
Yeah.
Just get to that one.
Just grab the blanket and shine that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't she lovely?
Okay, since we kind of decided on that position, I'm going to tighten the clutches. So this baby does not
Isn't
move
she
very easily.
gracious? Isn't she wonderful?
Yeah, that locked it in really,
Oh, yes, it's
really
plain
good. Now,
to
you ordinarily would just leave the clutches like that if you're using the drive mechanism to follow a star or a planet.
Yeah.
Isn't she
Just lock them down and let it just drive.
Yes.
Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. That's beautiful. Oh, wait, there's a little.
She spins so smoothly.
Okay, now we'll just intrigue folks. They'll say, what is that doing here? And then they can ask people, and they'll say, I don't know. And then they'll finally go to Haley, what's that doing here? And then Haley can explain. Haley's not here right now, so we can't intro her, but she is the airport
But
manager.
she needs us all to know
Hey, Tyler,
that for
it's a
everyone
wrap.
else,
It's out in the lobby. It's pretty secure. It's very heavy. Nobody can just lift it up and run off with it.
Okay.
And nobody can open up the tube to get at the lenses or the lens or anything.
Okay.
So So it should be fine.
You want to come out and have a look at it?
I was just about to ask, do you want me to put any type of notes or anything on there saying do not touch or anything like that?
I think it goes without saying.
Alright.
You know, I hate to be overly mommy, daddy, state oriented.
Yes, sir, I understand.
But eventually we'll put a sign up that says what it's about. It's the JDA Observatory project. Whether we get there or not is a question, right? Because we've got a lot of work to do until we finalize the situation in the telescope. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I think that's perfect. I think so too. Haley came up with the idea where to put it. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot, Tyler. Thank you.
Thank
We're all
you.
set.
You too.
Well, we turned this just a little bit more because it was showing a lot more tape on it. So we wanted to pull it this way so if someone walked in through here, they could see this piece and it'd make them have to look over to see what exactly their eyes are capturing. So it captures an image more in an attention span of a person better than the other way.
Yes.
Instead of blending in, it kind of sticks out.